Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Angel, and of course, I got my son Isaac here. Cause listen, man, I cannot do this without him being here. Cause he'll he'll be all over the place and stuff like that. He loves, like I said yesterday, he loves being on the camera, everything. Every time I take a picture, or me and mom, or anything, he's always there. But anyway, guys, as you can see the title today, I'm gonna be bringing 4 horror stories we're gonna be reacting to by Wansee Entertainment. I watched a lot of their like horror stories, and a lot of them are real crazy, man. I haven't watched fully every single one, of course, because they got a lot. But I've seen a couple, and some of them were giving me the chills, I ain't gonna lie. But today, I'm bringing 4 of them. I gotta see what's in store for them. I ain't never seen this one. One of these dropped today. And yeah, guys, let's check it out. I mean, I don't have too much to say. Let's just start it. So the first one is called My Scary Apartment Basement. Let's get it.
When I was 4 years old, my family and I used to live in a huge apartment. Along with the apartment complex was a huge basement where we could do our laundry. However, in order to get there, we had to take the elevator.
Yeah, that's dead.
One day, my mom was doing the laundry. My brothers and I accompanied her. My 2 brothers were playing together. Meanwhile, I was wandering off in the dark basement's hallway.
Trying to push the boy into the
As I walked
washer.
in further, I saw bloody footprints that were the same size as my feet.
Yeah.
I followed the footsteps, and they suddenly stopped at the end of the hallway. I looked up and I saw 2 kids. A boy with brown hair and brown eyes, and a girl with blonde hair and brown eyes. They were both my age. There was something odd about them, but like any other 5-year-old, I just ignored it. I turned my head around to see if there was anyone else in the hallway, but there wasn't. As I turned my head around to look at the kids again, they vanished.
Whoa.
I was confused. I mean, how could that be possible? There was only a wall in front of me. A few days later, I was getting into the elevator. As soon as I entered, I saw the kids again. I asked them where their mom and dad were, but they didn't respond. I turned around and I pressed the button to go to the 3rd floor, and as I turned back to them, again, they were gone.
They playing hide and seek with my boy.
Shocked. So I told the janitor about what happened. Apparently, there was a horrible situation some time ago. A family used to live here, and the parents killed their own children. Now their ghosts haunt the whole complex in search for their bodies. Several years have passed and we moved out, but I still wonder if they ever ended up finding their bodies.
Wait a minute. First of all, what? Like, what? You find that weird, Isaac? That's crazy. Parents killing their own kids? Like, what's the whole point of even having kids? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. In this world, there's a lot of crazy people that do a lot of crazy things. They'll do things that will leave you in like shockness. Wow, like I'm really speechless right now. That's really sad. And the kid walking around seeing them and stuff. It's just weird. What you think, Isaac? It's crazy. You don't got nothing to say either? I know, man. You just want to hop into the other one? Well, I guess that's a yes. Well, the next one is called a True Grandmother Horror Story. It's the same people. Okay? My grandmother tried to kill me. Wow.
It was April of 2007. and my birthday was approaching. Most of my family had already told me the gifts I would receive, like a new Wii along with video games for it. My grandmother didn't tell me anything. Now, my grandmother had always been a strange woman. She wasn't very talkative, but I liked to hear the stories she told. They were creepy, but intriguing. She told me she was going to give me a book. She didn't show it to me, nor did she tell me what it was about.
That's weird.
Once my birthday rolled around, I was opening gifts from my loved ones. When I got to my grandmother's present, I opened it up and I saw a book with a pentagram carved into its front cover. I picked it up and thought nothing of it, because at the time, I didn't know what the shape was or what it meant. As soon as I grabbed it, though, everything went pitch black. When I woke up, my family was surrounding me, and my mom was scolding my grandmother about giving me the book. My grandmother looked at me, but her eyes were evil looking. That night, when I went to bed, I was having a pretty good dream. But suddenly, something woke me up. I looked around and saw nothing. Then, suddenly, I saw a shadowy figure in the doorway looking at me. This wasn't a case of sleep paralysis because I was able to move, but that didn't comfort me because that meant it was real life. The figure crept closer and closer to me. When I looked closer at the figure, I saw gray hair and crooked teeth.
Boy!
That's when I knew it was my grandmother. I screamed and ran past her, but she grabbed me and tossed me back. I noticed she had something in her hand, but I couldn't tell what it was. I saw one of my toys that I had gotten a few years ago, picked it up and threw it at her. She fell to the ground and I ran past her, telling my parents. My parents called the police and they got there and arrested her. The thing she had in her hand was a knife, and she was planning on killing me. To this day, I wonder what would have happened if that toy wasn't lying there.
Isaac. Now that one was weird. First of all, that kid is lucky, right? He was getting a lot of this nice stuff for his birthday. And she must have been really weird. Something must have really was wrong with her or something like that. Like, she was probably mad he didn't like her cookies. You know, I don't know. She must have just been real old and sick. Like, that's weird, man. My grandma tried to pull something like that, she would have got his hands. I'm sorry, Grandma, but damn. Boy, that boy threw that, right, Isaac? He said that. Destroyed her. That was good, though. That was smart thinking that he did that, you know what I'm saying? Because anything could have been happening. He could have been gone, you know? But don't make Grandma angry. Try to pull something like that on us. No, we got her, Isaac. We're going to hit her with the bat. Alright, but I guess we on to the next one. This one is a true Maid horror story.
We used to have a maid from Indonesia, and her name is Yt. Well, one night it was probably around 2 a.m. Everyone was sleeping. Suddenly, my brother and I heard my maid weeping. She was crying softly. We thought she probably missed her family in Indonesia.
Like that
so
witch
we just
from
ignored
Left
her
4
and
Dead
went
and
back
stuff.
to sleep. The next day, at the same time, around 2 a.m., she was weeping again. This went on and on for 3 months. And we told our parents about it, and everyone had the same thought. She probably missed her family back home. One night at 9 p.m., my brothers and I were chilling in the living room. My maid was in the kitchen washing dishes. My dad was fixing the kitchen light, and suddenly my dad saw a shadow running around in the storage room. My dad thought it was one of us playing around, so my dad called out to my brother, "Can you please get the light bulb from the drawer?" But no one answered. Then my dad shouted, "Hey, can someone help me out and get the light bulb for me?" Both of us ran towards my dad from the living room, which is on the opposite side of the storage room.
She had her kids in there?
My dad then got confused and asked us why we came from the living room. We got goosebumps and walked into the storage room. We switched the lights on and saw that there was no one there. However, we saw the maid shaking. She looked at us, then started weeping again. My dad asked, "Who was that, and why are you weeping?" My maid then explained that it was her guardian from Indonesia. My dad asked her to call him out, and he was going to call the police. But my maid stated that it was not a human, but a spirit that was summoned to protect her. After that, my dad brought us to a nearby hotel for the night and hired a spiritual hunter to chase the spirit away. Following that incident, we no longer heard the maid weeping, and she was sent back to Indonesia 3 days after the incident.
What? Alright, that one wasn't really scary either, right, Isaac? It was just weird. Like, what? Wow, so she had a spirit in her from Indonesia to protect her. But it wasn't nothing bad. Right? It wasn't nothing bad. I mean, the spirit was probably bad, but I probably would have been creeped out too, I ain't gonna lie. That's crazy. I don't really have too much to say about this one. Let's just hop into the next one. The man in my brother's closet.
This happened 2 months ago in January of 2019. My parents went out to a party. They told me they wouldn't be back until at least 3 a.m. in the morning because the party was supposed to start at 8 p.m. and the party was going to be in New Jersey. We live in Connecticut, so it takes a while to get there and back.
Oh, wow.
They told me to watch my 10-year-old brother and expected me to be responsible because I'm 15 years old. When they left, we watched movies all night while eating a bunch of popcorn. It was around 11:30, and we just finished watching Infinity War. I told my brother to brush his teeth and go to bed. I stayed up later than him to watch the movie Logan. The movie ended, and it was around 2 in the morning. I was getting ready for bed when my brother came down the stairs. I asked him what he was still doing up, and he said the boogeyman was in his closet and wanted to touch him. I looked at him in confusion. My brother isn't the type of kid to pull pranks or joke around. He wanted me to check it out. I said fine and started saying he probably just heard a house noise.
That's poop.
He said he heard a noise coming from his closet, and when he checked inside, the boogeyman was there and said he wanted to touch him. We went inside his room. I turned on the light and we went to the closet door. I opened it, and what I saw made me seriously angry. There was a tall, scruffy-looking man with long, black, greasy hair. He looked as if he was in his mid-40s and was fairly built. I was pissed off when I saw this creep watching my 10-year-old brother sleep, and I figured out what my brother meant when he said the boogeyman wanted to touch him. I was so pissed off. I punched his throat. He dropped to the floor gasping for air, but I stepped on his face as hard as I could at least 6 times. He was covered in blood and was having trouble breathing. I grabbed my brother and ran into the bathroom, locking the door and calling the cops. Then I called my parents. My parents freaked out. In about 10 minutes, the cops showed up and searched the bedroom. He wasn't in there. They searched the house. He wasn't anywhere to be found. I gave them a good description of his appearance, and an officer even stayed at our house until sunrise. A week later, I was informed that the same guy was caught and arrested for raping an 11-year-old boy and murdering his parents.
Wow.
It turns out he had raped multiple children before and even murdered some of them and their parents. He was 47 years old and received a death sentence. If my brother never came downstairs to tell me what happened, then I fear the worst could have happened to him. And I'm extremely thankful that didn't happen.
Wow, my guys, I'm speechless on that one. There's a lot of creeps in this world, and there's no lie, man. Like, if you have kids or anything, like you gotta make sure you check everything. Make sure every doors and windows is locked. Make sure there's nothing in the closets. make sure when you go out, you keep your kids next to you, because, yo, these people are sick nowadays. A lot of people are sick. And it's like, this is nothing to joke about. But, yo, that little boy, lucky he got a big brother that was like that. He punched him right in his throat and stomped on this boy. He had a fatality on him. I felt bad, though, that he didn't get caught right there, because it could have saved the other family. You know, the kid got raped and his parents got killed right there. That's a lot to bear with, you know. It's just crazy. Out of the four that we watched, this one was probably the craziest ones. The other ones were chilling, you know. This one was just crazy. This one was OP. That's wow. He punched him right in the throat. You would have did the same, Isaac? Right there. Oh man. Isaac, did you like them? Did you find them interesting? Somewhat? Yeah. I was feeling the same way. Some of them were interesting though. I really like these. If you guys have any recommendations on, you know, any horror story that I would like me to react to, you know, y'all can follow me on Instagram. If not, just leave a comment down below and I'll check them out. And you know, if you guys liked our reactions, make sure you like and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so you will always be notified every time another video drops. I'm telling you, I'm gonna try to go ham on these. Make a come up, right, Isaac? You will be in there with me, okay? Us. He looked at me like, really? Okay, I said us. If you would like us to check anything, I'll just, you know, notify us, let us know. Like I said, make sure you like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because I'm dropping a lot. Every day, Isaac? You gotta start off small and make it come up. Alright guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Have a wonderful night, wherever you're from. And welcome to REALESTRICO TV, where greatness happens. Alright guys, deuce. Say bye. Bye.